Once again, for our media participants that are joining us on the call, if you do have questions for our head coaches, we ask that you please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. Please limit your questions to one initial question if there are several questions already in the queue. If we do have additional time, we will work our way back around to get additional questions answered. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach Maynor with Alabama A&M. Coach, first and foremost, just want you to know that we are definitely thinking of Medrick and his family as well as your program. It's definitely in our thoughts and prayers. And with that being said, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Andrew. How you doing? Thank you, man. That's all we can do right now, man.
Yes, sir. Coach, if you could start us out with an opening statement, just recapping your team's most recent outing at home versus Southern.
Yeah, big conference game with Southern. Came to Huntsville, and we knew they had a good football team. They was tied for first over there, leading that side, and we knew Graves had his guys ready to play. We got off to a good start. We was up 10-zip, and they made some adjustments, I guess, and we didn't execute as well. And then it was 10-9 at halftime. And they actually went after 10-zip. They scored 19 unanswered, so it was 19-10. Then we got a field goal, and we scored a touchdown late with 3 minutes and a half left in the football, go up 20-19. And now we got to go out and get a stop, and we wasn't able to do it. Got the ball back a minute and 10 seconds, but no timeout, needing a touchdown, and weren't able to get in the end zone. So it was a disappointment. Coach Grace, great job. They came in ready to play, and they got the W.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to Tanner Spearman.
Good morning, Coach. Coming into this week against UAPB, you guys are still looking for that first road win of the season, whereas UAPB's 3-1 at home. They've been good defending their home turf. What do you got to do to get these guys ready to go into an environment like that and be able to come out with a win when a lot of other teams haven't been able to do that this year?
Yeah, it's the SWAC, man. It's always tough. It's tough to get wins, even tough to get wins on the road. Coach Hampton is doing a great job with those guys. He got those guys believing in line football, man. They flying around on defense, explosive back in the wide receiver. Hands full. We really got to prepare. We got to play better than we played the last couple of weeks. Defensively, we got to cause some turnovers and limit the explosive plays. We can't stop the wide receiver. We just got to try to contain him, man. He's a very, very good football player. And offensively, we got to take care of the ball. We got turnovers last couple of games, and we just got to stay consistent.
All right, Coach.
Next question goes to Doc Holliday.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing today?
Good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Your team was 1 for 11 on third down, 2 for 2 on fourth. What are the things you want to try to improve to get your third down efficiency pretty much standard?
Well, we're not playing very good on third down either. Bad pass, bad route, not getting the push we need up front on third and shorts and to get off the field to get the first down, to keep the drives going. So it's a combination of both. Running back sometimes got to be your own blocker and make somebody miss or break a tackle. So it's a little bit a combination of everything right there on third and short that we got to do a better job of play calling and then executing the play.
Thank you, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Next question goes to Perry Daniels.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Perry. How you doing, man?
I'm doing super fantastic. How are you?
Good. I'm doing super fantastic.
Yes, sir. Coach, if you could assess the play of Xavier Langford this
It played pretty good. He played pretty good. He missed some throws, some big throws. Missed a couple of reads that he should have took the ones and then take the one-on-ones. Other than that, excuse me, sorry about that. We got in the red zone, got bogged down a couple of times. Didn't get some points right there. That was big. But overall, X played pretty good. I thought he played well enough for us to win, but we didn't get the W. So he's playing well. He's playing good enough for us to win. He just needs to be a little bit more and get the ball a bit quicker.
And coach, what are your thoughts regarding the redshirt freshman quarterback for Southern, Xavier Tset?
He played well. I mean, they made a decision to go with him, and since they got the win, they made the right decision. You know, he took advantage. He threw the ball to that tight end a lot on some little crossing routes. They on that in that game, and he made one big throw to his wide receiver on a crossing route. He caught and turned up the sideline for a big touchdown. But he played well as for a freshman to come and play that well on the road in a big game. He has a good future ahead of him.
Thank you, coach. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
For Coach Maynor. Any final questions? All right, we got a question from Doc Holliday.
Coach, you yards on Saturday, but you didn't win the time of possession. What are some things you want to try to do as far as to get those back, especially against a Bluff defense that quite frankly is not good up in the trenches?
Well, I don't know about that. Tape I watched so far, they're pretty good up front. They're playing hard. I mean, I think number 5, CS and D, and to get 190 yards against them is good. And I don't know if we knew you'd asked me before the game, will we get rush for 200 yards against Southern? That was a good day for us rushing 90 yards. But we didn't get the stops when we needed to get the win. So, but the offensive line and the backs ran hard again.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Sir.
Next question goes to Perry Daniels.
Yeah, coach. So we talk about those stats. Southern had a couple of very long drives, 90 score. If you could talk about that particular drive, and I think they had another 75-yard drive for a field goal.
You're absolutely correct. They did. They had 2 long drives, and that's rare. That's rare. That's hard to do. But they did it, and I mean, they kept making some big third down conversions. One coming out the end zone on third down in the middle, and then the freshman quarterback made a run down our sideline to his left, his strong, and ran right by one of our guys and 20 yards, and that was a big play on that. And then he made the big for the touchdown. So that was a big drive, like you said. We gave him a 99-yard drive. He had a lot to do with that. He made some plays in that drive, and that you get team backed up on 1-yard line, you want to keep them there, make them punt, give you a short field, and then you come back down and score. But not only they flipped the field, they went down and scored. So you got to take your hats off to them.
And coach, you talked about the receiver for Arkansas Pine Bluff, but the quarterback, Mekhi Hagan, very dynamic player. What are you telling your defense regarding him?
We got to try to contain him. He's a great quarterback. He's been great all year. So we definitely got to contain him. We got to try to confuse him, give him some different looks, put some pressure on him, drop in some zones, and just try to.
Coach.
Thank you.
Any final questions? Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.
All right, thank you, man. Good luck to everybody.
Appreciate it. All right, we are maybe a minute ahead of schedule. Next, we'll be joined by Coach Robinson with Alabama State. We'll be back momentarily. Once again, for our media participants, if you have any questions for our coaches, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. Alabama State head coach Robinson. Good morning, Coach.
Hey, how's it going today?
Great, Coach. Coach, as always, we appreciate you take some time to join us. Coach, if you could please start us out with an opening most recent outing versus Alcorn State.
Yes, Alcorn State down in Mobile, Alabama, in the Port City Classic, second Port City Classic. We played in the game last year also against Grambling. So the organizers are doing a great job getting both teams down there the day before, having a banquet for everyone. I thought that was really nice. Had a pretty good crowd out there. Both bands showed up, and it was just a great SWAC football game. Both teams really competed hard. Both teams were extremely physical. We both had a couple injuries. It just seemed like one of those games where whoever made the last play or whoever made the last mistake would win. I think we both had a couple miscues, and we both took advantage of those mistakes. Just fortunate to get out of there with a win. I think Coach Thomas and Alcorn, they have a heck of a team. Those guys are super physical, and so they really tested us from that standpoint. Couldn't run the football like we really wanted to, and so our young quarterback did a managing the game and not making too many mistakes, protecting the football. For us, we had a couple mistakes in the special teams aspect, which is just really hits me deep in the heart, you know, when you get blocked and stuff like that. But we have to give those guys credit. You know, they took advantage. They made the play. And so it was a tight game all the way to the very end. They actually had a 50-yard, 5-yard line, was able to make the tackle. So it was one of those games, just fortunate to get there with a win and get to the next one. But we realized that in November, we got some mistakes that we have to clean up. Really, as we go to Grambling on the road to play at Grambling State University against a tough team, and we know it's their senior day, so they'll be ready to play. So we have to be ready to play also.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to Donald Ware.
What's going on, Coach Robinson? How you doing this morning?
Pretty good. How's it going?
Doing pretty good. It's sort of a three-part question. What kind of player do you have in Rico Dozier? What has he meant to this team this year? And then what do you see in terms of him playing next level? Yeah,
a great question. I mean, first of all, he's just a great kid, you know, from Abbeville, Alabama. So was glad to get him back home. Had 19 tackles in the game, sacked, made a lot of big plays. DeMarcus Cunningham, our other starting linebacker, was ejected after 5 plays for a targeting call. So Rico had to play way more than he usually plays. Pretty much played the whole game. Usually he subs in now and then. Really stepped up after the game. Had some great comments about his teammates. Everybody had to pull together. Just does whatever you ask. And so just love everything. College football player. And I think from the next level, you know, he'll be playing in the Legacy Bowl, so he'll definitely get his chance. I think he has the coverage ability and the speed and athleticism and toughness, those type of things. So he'll just have to adjust to the NFL game and just get himself in great shape. But I think he's a kid that definitely has a chance to make it at that next level.
Follow-up question: how does he compare to Eddie Robinson?
Well, two different styles of football from then and now. But I think as far as the coverage ability and what you're asking out of a Mike linebacker, I think he fits into that aspect of it really well. So I was probably more of a will linebacker with the tight ends a lot. But he mixes it up. I mean, he's a physical guy. And in this day and age, you don't have guys that still like to be physical and want to hit. And so I think that part of it is real big from what he can do.
Next question goes to Keisha Kelly.
Hey, Coach. Good morning. How are you?
Morning. How's it going?
Good. So you're headed to Grambling, you're headed to the hole, and we know that Grambling has suffered 2 losses these last 2 games. You talk about things that you need to clean up. What are things that you are working on for your team to clean up as you head to Grambling?
Well, I think coaches and players. You know, one time we had a punt block with 10 people on the field, and then they had a missed field goal, and we had 12 people on the field. So that's the first thing. In November, you can't have those type of mistakes. We had some big things. I mean, our punter did a great job punting the football. It was a field position game, but I think just those small mistakes we have to really clean up. We have to be really detailed on what we're doing just play to play and just be intentional about it. Players and coaches, like in this time of year, victory away from you. And we know it's a challenge to go down there and play. I mean, we'll take the kids to the museum. I think it's one of the best in the country. Everybody should try to get there, and we'll love the experience of going. We have to have a business trip approach and realize that you're playing going to come out there and give us everything that they have. And so our thing now is to win on Monday and just win one day and just get better each week and give ourselves an opportunity to win on the weekend.
Well, I'm jealous of going to the museum, but good luck, coach. Be safe.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Next question goes to Doc Holliday.
Good morning. Today.
Good morning. How's it going?
I'm doing good. I got a question for you from the chat. This says you won the Battle of Bama against A&M, and now you won the Battle of the ASUs. Do you agree your quarterback has settled in to be the leader you need behind center?
Yeah, I just think from his play on the field, I mean, he's a quiet kid, so I don't think he's definitely not the rah-rah, let's go kid, and we're not asking him to be that. But as far as just getting us in the right play, making and just being consistently good. I preach that to quarterbacks, to the whole team. Consistently good equals great. Don't go out there and try to be Superman. Make the play that you can. He probably needs to work on throwing the ball away. Sometimes the defense has a good call, and it's not going to work. And it's okay to throw it incomplete. It's okay to throw it out of bounds. He did a good job of trying to do it. He got an intentional grounding, but the thought was there. So he's learning that aspect of it and to keep himself upright.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Jim Klein-Peter.
Yeah, Coach. Your team's in position to maybe force a three-way tie in the for the lead in the East initially, and I just wondered if you talk a little bit about the resiliency you're showing. Quarterback and is Keys your third quarterback? Is he, or was he the backup to Bobby?
Keys was a wide receiver, so he was the first guys were banged up. The fourth guy has a small injury, but he can play. And so Keys was a kid that was a wide receiver. We moved him to quarterback after the first three guys got injured. I knew he played it in high school. And actually, we were doing some drills, some on edge perimeter drills with the defensive ends, just trying to give him a good look. And I was like, man, you pretty good with the ball. And I just kind of noticed it, went back, watched his high school film and said, just kind of put that in my mind in August that if we needed a quarterback, maybe. And so week 2, all of a sudden we're down to the fourth quarterback. And so he just started taking quarterback reps, learned it really good. So I guess technically he would be the fifth guy, but realistically he wasn't the quarterback until the injury started.
Would you talk a little bit about the resiliency of your team and show you're staying in the race? You won a big game last week.
Yeah, so I just have to me, it's kind of a stoic philosophy that I use in my personal life is you don't complain. I mean, complaining is a sign of weakness. Nobody cares about it. And so we had that approach. And the kids never complained. They never talked about that adversity. They just went out and played to win each day. And I think life gives you. So when things don't go away, when you have adversity, you have to appreciate and the strain of it. And you have to enjoy that part of it. And once you get past it, then usually good things will happen.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Next question goes to Perry Daniels.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How's it going?
Super fantastic. How are you?
Oh, good. Super fantastic.
Yes, sir. So let's talk about this matchup, Coach. What have you seen on film from the Tigers?
Yeah, so I guess it started quarterback, whether Miles Crowley will be out there or the young man that played last week, Bethune-Cookman. But we know that they're going to throw the ball around. For us, we have to keep those pass plays last week and the week before against A&M. So we know, we're going to be us. We're going to bring pressure, and we know that they're going to take some chances. And so for us, that's going to be a big part of it defensively. Offensively, we got to get back to running the football. Some good running plays against Alcorn, but I thought they controlled the run game to the point where it wasn't a factor. And we got to make sure that we can run the football on schedule. And so those will be the challenges for us going this week.
And you and head coach Mickey Joseph are bonded by an oath and a grip. What type of special meaning does that bring to this game?
Yeah, so we're same fraternity, but going back, I can remember Mickey Joseph playing for Archbishop Shaw. I played for Brother Martin. Probably the best high school option quarterback I've ever seen in person. So got a lot of respect for him as a person. A long time, played against each other in high school, watched him at Nebraska, and we had his opportunity, had the injury. So just a lot of familiarity with Mickey from a whole standpoint on a personal level. Great guy. He's going to be a great competitor. He's going to get those guys ready to play. He understands the importance of winning each game and winning home games and those type of things. So I know he'll have them well coached. Have to be up for the challenge. So, but definitely a guy that I'm always rooting for. But hey, this week, it's just that we're playing each other. So of course I'm Alabama State.
Good luck, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Coach Robinson, as always, we appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, next we go over to Alcorn State. Hey, Coach Cedric Thomas, once again, if you do have any questions, we ask you please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. We also ask you please limit your questions to one initial question. If there are several questions in the queue, if we do have additional time, feel free to re-raise your hand so that we can get some additional questions answered. With that being said, happy to be with Alcorn State. Good morning, Coach.
Morning.
Coach, as always, we appreciate you taking out of your schedule to join us. If you could please start us out with an opening statement recapping your team's most recent outing versus Alabama State.
Yes, sir. Went to the traveled to Mobile, had a really good environment. Guys did a really good job of the city. Shout out to them for putting on a really good event. Guys really embraced it. And, we knew what type of football game we was going to have to play and be a part of, and we got exactly that. Came down to a couple inches. Down to the last play. Guys over there with Coach Rob, man, they played a really good game. Feels, and they made a couple more than we did. But proud of the group. Fought tooth and nail all the way. I think that was one of those program defining, games for us as we continue to program into the way we wanted. And so fell a little short, but man, I'm extremely proud of everybody that was a part of the festivities and also that football game on Saturday.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First goes to Doc Holliday.
Coach Thomas, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm blessed. What's up with it, Doc?
I'm doing good. You dominated this game on an offensive standpoint with 432 yards, but you also had 9 penalties for 78 yards, and you turned the ball over 2 times in this game. What are some things you want to try to clean up going into the next against your next opponent?
Yeah, the turnovers. One of those was for 6 points. We're not playing good enough, or we can't play anybody, well to give points away. We're not that good to be able to give other teams good points, and they did a good job by taking the ball out the way. And so we got to clean that up. The penalties, they are what they are. They didn't affect this game, from a win and loss standpoint. But the biggest thing is, like you hit on, was the turnover. We got to make sure. And Coach got through mentioning that, we got to be able to throw the football away. But we got to take that sack.
Going into this game against Texas Southern, they had your number for the last 2 years. And we all, remember last year where it was on a Sunday. What are the things you want to try to get to these guys about trying to get about last year and just to focus on right now?
Well, they don't need to forget about last year. I think that's going to be the motivational piece for them to get up and get off the mat, for this one. We down 2, they got us for homecoming 2 years ago, stuck us up last year. And so I know it's it's a lot with the players. I should at least remember that they had, that Sunday evening once it was over. So that's just extra fuel to the fire to get these guys going and get ready to get off the mat and get that taste of winning back in them.
I appreciate you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Question goes to Perry Daniels.
Good morning, Coach.
Morning.
Coach, you described this as a program-defining game. Can you unwrap that a little bit?
Yeah, we got some new players that hadn't really been a part of the old traditional outlook of what Alcorn been in the past. With junior college kids and transfer kids, and we only had one guy on this team that was a part of that Celebration Bowl run. And so coming down the stretch, we lost a lot of guys that been a part of the imprint of establishing this program. So it's a lot of new guys, a lot of young guys to go out there on Saturday to play really good football, playoff type football, playoff type environment. And so, I thought they handled it, to the utmost, just a couple plays here and there, coming off that loss against Southern. And so that was the defining moment for me, for them to be able to get off the mat versus after the Southern and then come out and play a really good physical football team. And we held our own. We just fell a little short. And so I was proud of the guys from that. But we still got to win with the new guys that's a part of the program.
And moving forward, Coach, will Trey Lawrence and Xavier Vaughn see time under center?
Yeah, Zay was banged up. Coach, they sent the blitz, safety blitz. He took a rib shot, and just kind of took him out to make sure he had his bearings about him. And so wanted to bring Trey in to try to just, spell him a little bit. And so, my thing is, the first health and safety of these student athletes. And so if Zay can go out there and play at a high level and be healthy, we'll let him roll with it. Feel good about Trey, and also if we got to bring, anybody else in to give us a chance to play. And so that's kind of how the recipe will go from here on out. But hopefully, if Zay can stay healthy and upright, we'll get him out there and let him continue to lead us.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this week.
Thank you, sir.
Next question goes to Stephen Robinson.
Good morning, Coach T. How you doing?
Oh, I'm blessed. What's up with it, Stephen?
All right. You touched on having a number of new faces part of the program this season. How important has patience been, and is patience still a part of the growth process as you come down the stretch?
Yeah, it is for me. My loans of the junior college developmental piece is always good. And we're not jumping in the portal, looking for a quick fix. You look at Amarion Blake's really a redshirt freshman is out there. It's some major freshmen that get an opportunity to play really good football later down the stretch. And you look at the maturation of those guys from week 1 to now, and they're getting better. It's a lot of young guys out there that's going through, the rigors of this, Southwestern Athletic Conference down the stretch. And so, it'll help us going forward. But for us in the building, it's still player development, and being patient and allowing those guys to grow and take those bumps in the road, knowing that going forward, they'll remember it and they'll continue to get better and grow from it.
All right. Thank you, Coach. This week.
Appreciate it, sir.
Any final questions? All right, Coach, always we appreciate your time. Look forward to speak to you again next week.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. We are a few minutes ahead of schedule. We'll pause. We will be back momentarily. Thank you for your patience. All right, once again, for our media participants, if you do have questions for our coaches, please utilize the raise your hand feature. If you do see that there are several questions in there, we're going to ask you please limit your questions to one initial question. If there is additional time allotted, we will work our way back, so feel free to re-raise your hand to get your additional question in the queue. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach Woodie with Bethune-Cookman. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Coach, as always, we appreciate you take some time out of your schedule to join us. Coach, if you could start us out with an opening statement, recapping your recent outing versus Grambling State.
Oh, really a good game. You know, Coach Joseph had his guys, you know, ready to go, especially in the first half. I mean, we had senior day. They got up early at 14-0 lead after Sprague left, you know, with the injury, and then a punt return for TD. And then next event, offense scored on the next drive going into half, and Ransom to Nance made it 14-7, and then Grambling scored one more time coming out of half to extend the lead at 21-7. Defense, you know, did not let them score again, and offense scored on 3 consecutive drives to lead 21. And then our offense had a chance basically to seal it, but settled for a field goal that got blocked, and then the defense came. I was proud of them out back-to-back positions with interception to win the day.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to Klein Peter.
Yeah, Coach, would you talk a little bit on Ransom's development this year? It looks like he had some limited number of games ago at Valley, and just wondered, was he hurt then? Just talk a little bit about his development so far.
Well, I tell you, he's an exciting human being. I mean, really good teammate. You know, no matter who's in the game, whether it's him or the person that's playing in front of him, you know, he's progressed. You know, this year was his first year, obviously playing. This year he was not able, you know, to play, you know, just because of, you know, transfer rules. And we're excited about him. I mean, dual threat guy. I mean, 18 for 20, 90%, 199 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So for him, you know, just to take on the responsibility of leading the team, you know, we're excited, you know, about him. I mean, obviously he's been banged up throughout the season, but he brings a different dynamic. You know, he can make plays not only with his arm, but also with his feet in comparison to, you know, Lou, more so a drop back passer.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Doc Holliday.
How you doing today?
Outstanding. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing good. Congratulations on the win on Saturday.
Thank you.
Being down in this game, what was the thing that you was trying to tell the team, kind of pump them up to get them back into the game and basically go out there to win it?
Just stand. You know, we always talk about playing 4 quarters. I must say I'm proud of the guys because they played 4 quarters, and then we always come out finish. And, you know, just to see them in first situations respond, they're telling me that this team, you know, is growing up. And, you know, we just always talk about stay together. I mean, through adverse situations, if you keep pressing, good things will happen.
All right. And tell us about the maturation of Darnell Dees. I know you use him, he primarily as a returner, but you also use him as a running back and as a wide receiver in the offense. Tell us more about him.
Well, you know, it's just coming in, you know, previous year. I mean, you know, obviously special teams guy, but then, you know, coaches are really good coaches. I mean, they're going to kick away from, you know, a guy like that, you know. So I went in and said, hey, you know, we need to create opportunity to get this guy the ball in his hands, especially if he's not getting it in his hands on special teams, you know. So we kind of utilize him this spring, you know, in the backfield, in the slot, you know, and I think that has to happen. I mean, you know, smart coaches put the ball in the best players' hands, So I feel like our coaches are doing a good job of incorporating him, not just on special teams, but in the offense as well.
I appreciate you, Coach.
Appreciate you.
Next question goes to Tomoto Stapleton.
Good morning, Coach. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Good morning.
Coach Woody, your team showed incredible resilience, fighting back that deficit. Can you talk about the atmosphere in the locker room after the win that you're going to carry forward as you prepare to hit the road to face Southern, who currently holds the top spot in the SWAC West?
Yeah, well, I know Coach Graves, he's going to have those guys ready to go. Man, the outstanding coach program. I tell the guys all the time, we have to, it's the most important game because it's the next game on our schedule. In the locker room, I mean, we talk about finish, obviously say, hey, coach, you talk about 4 quarters. We finally at this point where we starting to understand, what you mean. I mean, just because, you've been a little break, and I just saw that the guys, they constantly fought back, and that's convincing, for not just myself, but, those guys had an opportunity. They got down. They fought, stag. I mean, they just kept going, and just proud of those guys. I mean, Grambling is a really good football team. Coach Joe does a great job with those guys, and guys, they had an opportunity to beat a really good team.
Thank you, Coach, and good luck.
Thank you.
This question goes to Perry Daniels.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Let's talk about what you've seen on film about this Southern University Jaguar opponent that's coming up.
And I tell you, they're really good in all aspects, offense, defense, and special teams. They got, the 2 quarterbacks. I mean, they got, up front, on the perimeter, there. I mean, they're a really good team. I mean, it's where they're at, in the conference. And, we're just going to go and take care of us and do those things that we need to do to make sure we're worrying about us. But, I mean, they're a good team.
And Coach, with you having beat one university in the Louisiana, would winning 2 games against those Louisiana schools make up for a season that hasn't quite lived up to your expectation?
Well, we don't look at it as, whatever area a team is in, we just look at it as execute, every time we play an opponent. And we, like I said, again, we just worry about us. We take care of us and work on the technique, fundamental attention to detail. We'll be fine. But like I said, it's going to be a good game. And like I said, we just take one game at a time and do the execute.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Last question goes to Keisha Kelly.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
How are you?
Good. So, and I like that you said that you just take care of what you got to take care of, and you don't really look at the teams and where the location is. Is there anything that you have looked at that concerns you about the Southern University team that you will head to Baton Rouge to play?
Well, I tell you, man, they're big, they're strong, they're fast, they're physical. I mean, they have the tools, and those guys been playing, really good ball. We just got to take care of the ball, stop the run, and you stop the run, you have a chance, with the pass. But we've been, from week to week, and I'm excited about the improvement. But to worry about one aspect, we're not worrying about that. We have to play a team philosophy game. Everybody have to do their job, because if you don't, they can hurt you on special teams, they can hurt you on the offense, and then also, that stout defense they have. I mean, they're one of the best teams in the FCS, so we got to really have our guys ready to go,
Well, good luck, Coach, and I'm echo to Mona and say happy belated birthday.
All right, thanks so much.
Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you all and good luck, guys.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, we now go over to Florida A&M. Once again, if you do have any questions for our coaches, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. If you do see several questions already in the queue, please limit your questions to one initial question. Feel free to re-raise your hand. If we've got time, we'll get additional questions answered. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach Colsey with Florida A&M. Good morning, Coach.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone.
Coach, as always, we appreciate you taking some time to join us. If you could, please start us out with an opening statement recapping your team's most recent outing versus Texas Southern.
Well, 500 yards of offense, holding a team under 200 yards on defense, and but gave up 222 yards in special teams. So we 2 of the 3 phases I thought we did very, very well with. But tribute to Coach Dishman and his staff. These guys kept fighting regardless of the situation. Thought we did some good things. Dishman and his staff did some really good things to keep themselves in the game in the third quarter. But ultimately, us being able to run the football late, and, we made a couple more plays on defense, gave us the opportunity to get the victory. As we get ready for a very, very good Prairie View team this weekend, we gotta come ready to play because I know everybody's trying to win week by week, so we gotta make sure we take care of business.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to Doc Holliday.
Coach Colsey, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, Doc. How are you?
I'm doing good. Congratulations on your first homecoming win as a head coach. You, like you said, you held Texas Southern to 164 yards of total offense. And you also, on offensive wise, you also got your first rushing touchdown of the season. What was the things that you kind of adjusted for just for this game alone this past weekend?
Well, I'll go back to your previous statement now. You said it was my first homecoming win, but it was also my AD's first homecoming win and then our interim president's first homecoming win. So I want to make sure I give them their props as well. Defensively, I think just our guys understand our philosophy, understanding schematically what we want from them. It's been a learning process week by week, and it's actually made us realize, right? Hey, we can't worry about scheme, right? We gotta figure out what our guys do best, and allow them just to play and move around a little bit. Now, obviously, excited about having our first rushing offense, first rushing touchdown, but I think we got to stop allowing our quarterback to RPO at the 1 yard line. Because hell, if you give the quarterback the option to run or pass at the 1, he's gonna pass. So that might have been one of the reasons why we haven't gotten it as soon as we may. But our worked really, really hard. First back-to-back weeks we've been able to do some things run-wise that we haven't necessarily been able to do throughout the season. So excited about our progress. We're still trying to play a full 4 quarters of quality football, and we haven't done that yet. So we're going to continue to try to do that as we get ready for this weekend.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Next question goes to Jim.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on that homecoming victory. I hope everybody on the highest of 7 hills are well. Next stop, you move on. Yes, sir. You move on to Prairie View in Texas. What are your thoughts going in there and looking for a W?
Well, we were talking about this as a staff in the morning, right? When you play at home, it's our best 85. Then when you go on the road, we try to bring our best 70, right? So you're going on the road, and it's a quick trip in, it's a quick trip out, so it does take an adjustment. We got some time that we got to make sure we take care of as well. But that's part of going on the road, all right? Being able to adjust to a different environment. They get a chance to now sleep in their beds and be a little bit more comfortable. So, but they does a great job. They're going to be ready to play. They're playing to stay in it just like we are. So there's going to be some emotional value with the football game. But I think we take care of the football and being able to run. Those are things you got to make sure that you do on the road. And hopefully, if we can do those 2 things, I think we're in a pretty good spot. But you can't I guess, get ready for the unknown, right? And those are the things that when you go on the road that you may have to deal with.
Have a good week, Coach.
Hey, man, appreciate you.
Next question goes to Keisha Kelly.
Hey, Coach Cozy, how are you?
I'm doing well, Miss Keisha. How are you doing?
I'm good. So I know last week we talked about the environment and how you were trying to keep the guys focused, and it's apparent they were very focused for homecoming. But can you just kind of talk about the environment, the fans, and how that was for you? Talked about you, your AD, your intern person. Talk about how that was getting that victory for all of y'all and how that environment was. Because I know I didn't saw so many pictures and I know how it is at FAMU, but kind of talk about that, if you will.
Well, we talked about the homecoming week, and there was before our football game, there was 42 scheduled events that was going to happen before that game. Now we both know there were some unscheduled events that happened throughout the week, but as far as scheduled, 42. But the 43rd event was the football game. That was going to happen at 4:00 on Saturday, and we talked about making sure that the 44th, 45th, 46th, and 47th, etc. events were going to be happy times, right? And that was, everybody came for homecoming and had all the things they needed to do, but the most important event was the football game, and so, we thought it was important to make sure we did what we needed to do, didn't take any days off. We did exactly what we would do normally, do a normal week of preparation, and I credit our veterans. They did a great job, locking us in. Our mentality was sure we won the football game before we did anything else, and obviously we were able to do that. But credit to our leaders, credit to the coordinators. I just get a chance to ride the ship and put the schedule together, and our guys did a great job managing that and doing exactly what I asked of them.
All right. Well, congratulations, Coach.
Thank you, Keisha. Appreciate you.
Next question goes to Perry Daniels.
Good morning, Coach.
Hey, Perry, how you doing, boss?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
Another day.
Daniel Richardson, Coach, 25 of 33, 267 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Assess his play.
It's hard to be negative, but him and I on our way to our media deal on Saturday, we just talked about the 2 interceptions, he's got 267. He probably could have been into that 300 range if on those 2 interceptions he would have just taken what the defense is giving him, right? So, he's one of the best, not just in the country. He's got a high completion percentage. He's throwing for a bunch of yards, and he's doing exactly what we expected he would do. Especially because he had done it at Central Michigan and Florida Atlantic. But he's slowly but surely continuing to win his teammates over. But he's done a great job. I'm excited that we're playing with him and not having to go against him. And then credit to our offensive line and our running backs and our wide receivers who are also winning their one-on-one battles that they have to go through every play. So we're getting the ball in the hands of our playmakers, and guys are making plays, and when you put a 50 spot on the board, that means everything was clicking. Hopefully we get a chance to click again this upcoming Saturday.
So speaking of this upcoming Saturday, last year Florida A&M beat Prairie View twice, both times in Bragg Memorial Stadium. Do you discuss last year's contest with this year's team? Does that have any bearing on Saturday's game? The philosophy in that approach?
Well, we looked at the previous games from last year just to see if there's any similarities. They do have a new coordinator in tow, but I think it's just important for our guys to understand that that's who we have a championship, right? So this is a very, very good football team, coach. But as far as going into the past, that's about as far as we'll go. Staff wise, they put on tape, who they are, what they are, and we'll use the last 4 to 5 games to dictate what we want to do schematically. But anybody that may be new to our program, we have to just let them know this is the team that we played, for the SWAC championship. So this is a very, very good football team, well coached. But what's on film over the last 4 or 5 games is what we will use the most to preparing for them.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.
I appreciate you guys, and good luck to everybody throughout this week.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we are maybe a minute ahead of schedule. Next, we'll be joined by Grambling State's Mickey Joseph. Appreciate your patience. We'll be back momentarily. All right, we are attempting to reach Coach Joseph with Grambling State. Once we are able to make contact, he will be joining us next for his time allotment on our head coach's media session. We do apologize for the inconvenience. We'll be back momentarily. Once again, if you do have any questions for our head coaches, please utilize the raise your hand feature. Unfortunately, we were unable to reach Coach Joseph with Grambling State, so we will move along to the next coach on our schedule, Coach Hampton with Arkansas Pine Bluff. Once again, if you have questions, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. Once again, happy to be joined by Coach Hampton with Arkansas Pine Bluff. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Coach, as always, we appreciate you taking some time out of your schedule to join us. Coach, if you could please start us out with an opening statement.
Obviously, it was a great environment in Jackson for homecoming. The crowd was festive. We were excited for the opportunity to be able to play the game. Came out first drive right down the field, had them off balance. They called timeout, ended up holding us to a field goal. We're trying to keep the ball away from the big time returner. They get the ball on the 40. And within 4 plays, they scored, made a couple mental mistakes early. Make it 7-3. We take the next drive, go right back down the field, and we get down like 4th and 3 or 4. They get to stop. We had a guy wide open. We missed him. And then they go score again, make it 14-3. We drive the ball again. Then we end up punting. Then they make it 21-3 right before half. They're going in to score. We get an interception, kind of stop the bleeding a little bit. And their guy knocks the ball out of our hand, and they get a fresh set of downs right before half. And they score on one, got a guy right there to play their guy did. And that's 28-3. But with our offense, I think we can score anywhere. And, we're trying to move the ball. And then they get an interception right before half, made a great play. And then we get a personal foul. We grab the face mask, made it 31-3. At that point, man, you just try to get out of the half and try to go back and gather yourself. And we really thought, we could we'd move the ball on everybody. I thought we could come back out, we were trying to win the second half. And we take they drive the ball, we get a stop, and then we drive it. And then we just kind of shot ourselves in the foot, but we'll give them credit. A good football team, and we didn't do what we needed to do in order to give ourselves the opportunity to win the game. So hats off to them, and they got a good football team, and we need to continue to build our program so we can get on that kind of stage and be ready for that moment.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to Tanner Spearman.
Good morning, Coach. Obviously, you guys have played some really good quarterbacks this year. You've got Xavier Linkard from Alabama A&M coming in, and what stands out to me about him is his versatility, because he's second in the conference in passing, but also second among quarterbacks in rushing. How do you get your defense ready for somebody who could do both so well?
I think Alabama A&M probably, in my opinion, have one of the best offense, if not the top offense in this conference. Coach has done a really good job. He's an offensive-minded guy. His quarterback can run it, just like the quarterback from Mississippi Valley and most quarterbacks in this league. But this young man can spin the football as well. They got a very talented receiver, just as good as the one that we have. So, man, we got our work cut out for us to be able to stop him. Weapons all over the field. I just, for Coach Maynor, he's got to figure out how he want to do it. It seems like week to week, he kind of figure out, like, what, I'm going to do this to these people and do this to that team. But they got a really good offensive football team, man. And so I didn't get any sleep last night. Get any sleep tonight. Obviously, we got practice today. We're going to let our kids go vote tomorrow. So they won't even practice tomorrow. We want to promote citizenship and give them the opportunity to voice their vote. But we need to get on the practice field today, man. That whooping we took, I don't like it. Don't like it. Don't like it. So it's time to get back to the drawing boards as a competitor. We want to get back on that field as fast as possible.
And Coach, you talked about coming off that loss 3 times this season. You guys have taken a loss on the road, but come back and bounce back with a win at home. What have you seen out of these guys and their ability to mentally turn the page on these kind of losses and get ready for the next week?
Well, Coach, obviously, Tanner, for us, is like when you're building a program, man, it's just so many different phases that you got to go through. I've been able to win on the road very much since I've been the head coach. And I wish I could bottle up what we're doing at home to take it on the road with us. And the places I've been, when I coach on the other level, Power 5, we always talk about packing your defense. And we hadn't been able to do that, on the road. And obviously, we've been able to move the ball. But again, we haven't been able to sustain drives. So we need to just continue to, come back to practice today. And then, our crowd's been great for us. Obviously, I think our kids get a chance to see their, classmates come out, support them. That'll mean a lot to them. But this place has been pretty good for home game. Simmons Bank Field, it's kind of been 12th man. We're looking forward to that. We're going to need it this week. Because like I said, Coach Maynor, man, I think he's one of the best offensive coordinators in college football, not just the SWAC.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Next question goes to Doc Holliday.
Coach Hampton, how you doing today?
Doing great.
Your receiver, Giovanni Gibson, had 6 receptions for 4 yards. What was the things that you saw from the defense of Jackson State where pretty much they kind of had him blanketed?
They had him blanketed with 2-3 guys. I mean, my hat's off to them. They wasn't going to let him beat them. So I give them guys a lot of credit. They had number 3, one of the best looking corners I ever seen in my life, out there guarding him. Then they had number 13 out there. Then they had number 7. Then they had a safety over top of them. So they had a really good game plan. They were able to get pressure with 3-4 guys. So that's a good football team. It's the reason that they're undefeated. So we got other guys that were wide open. We watched the film just like Jackson State watched. I mean, second, third, 7th play of the game, we got a guy run down the field wide open. Score's gonna be 10. It's gonna be 10-7. I mean, they don't even cover that guy because everybody's watching Bunny. But again, we got to continue to grow as a program. And when you got a really good receiver like we do, people are going to try to do things to take him out. And I give Jackson State a lot of credit, man. They schemed it up pretty well. And they was making sure when he did, they were putting hats on him. And that's what we talk about, being physical. And I remember early in the week that their coach said that. And so when you're building a program, and Jackson State's been one of the top programs in this league for a long time, no matter who's the coach. They play physical football, and they want to know if you're going to be able to do it for 60 minutes. And we were not able to do it for 60 minutes. We'll be able to get some players that like football for 60 minutes and be really be able to stick that hat in there and you say, bring it on. And so we didn't do that. So hopefully this week, I know our players will bounce back. I know our coaches will bounce back. And, Coach Maynard, they coming off a loss, and we are too. So, man, it'll be a good one.
And my second question is, on scheme-wise, what are you trying to do as far as against Alabama A&M to keep that offense off the field within your running game?
Man, I can't tell you that. If I tell you that, then you may tell them. No, I mean, obviously, like everybody else, run first. I mean, running backs, they got receivers, they got a quarterback that's really talented. They got 3 quarterbacks that are really talented. Again, I'm gonna say this: offense that we played this year, and Jackson State is really good, and Jackson do a lot of different things as well. But Alabama A&M and Coach Maynard, that he knows how to coach offensive football, and so man, our work's cut out. And if you want to call me off air, you can tell me some things that we need to do to stop them, because we hadn't stopped a lot of people this year, but we're trying to get a few more stops this week. We don't have to score a lot of points in order to beat this football team. And so we need to be good on offense. We need to be good on special teams to be able to keep them off the field. We need to be able to run the football like that.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Next question goes to James.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everybody in Pine Bluff are well. Talk a little bit about the offensive line, the O-line, the D-line, the trenches, Golden Lions in the trenches, and that's where it's at.
Well, that's where we had some issues at, and let's just be honest. Obviously, we try to get some guys, high school guys, portal guys on the O-line, D-line. That's the one thing that we got to do to be able to catch up with the top-tier teams in this conference. We got some good players. We just need more of them on the O-line and D-line. And I'm not taking anything from anybody we played, but I mean, man, we just, at times, we've gotten overpowered. Now, we've gotten stronger since I've been here. We've gotten more O-line, D-line, but we don't have enough of them. And what you see is we kind of get wore down and people just start all on us. And then now, man, you're trying to put that hat on them, and then we're bouncing off of them. So that's the one thing that we've addressed and we will continue to address. Me after the game, Coach. I mean, you guys are making a lot of improvement in a lot of areas. What's the one thing you need to work on? And we got to be able to recruit O-line and D-line to come here. And when you sign those junior college guys, you can't miss on them. They got to be willing to help you right now. And that's the thing that we're trying to do. Schematically, you can be able to try to slow people down and make them snap it again. But obviously, Jackson State's a football team. We wasn't able to do that. Herb Mulligan kind of got hot, the second half, run the ball. And then, you try to do a couple different things. And like I said, Alabama A&M, they got weapons all around as well. So we got our work cut out for us. And we're going to need the 12th man, which is our fans, to come out and show out and be nasty like them fans were at Jackson State. Man, them some nasty people down there. But I love it. It was fun. It wasn't fun getting whooped, but I love everything that they stand for. And that's what we want our program to be. Every game had that fan support, and they were talking trash. So I like it.
Coach, great teams are great at home. Just talk a little bit about the environment, and you want the support, and you guys in the black and gold.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, and I told the seniors this, man, you got 3 guaranteed games left. And, we're going to treat every game like it's a playoff game. And, as a senior, we only got 10 and only like 6 of those guys are playing. It's a young football team. But we're just trying to speed up the process. And what we have to do is we got to be able to take advantage of the opportunities that we have. We had guys in position to make plays. They didn't make plays. But, our home field advantage, for whatever reason, it has been a real home field advantage for us. Is it had a little more mojo with them. It's almost like they came out, man, and see something different when they look up in the stands. And I don't know, maybe it's that, maybe it's the pregame meal they get a chance to eat. Maybe it's the steak they get at home when you don't get on the road. So I'm trying to see if we can get them 2 steaks this week because we're going to need it because Coach Maynor got a really good football team over there, man. And so we got to be ready to go.
Last question goes to Timona Stapleton.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good.
That's good to hear. Coach, it was announced over the air on ESPN Plus that your team didn't have headsets during the game. Did this impact your ability to make in-game adjustments, and how did you and your staff work around that challenge?
We didn't have headsets. From the time we got there, they didn't work. Like I said, I don't know why they didn't work, but they did. So bottom line is what we did is we had to bring the coaches out of the box. They was up there, and somebody kept saying, we're going to get them back on, So technically, we had no headsets that worked for us. And then, at halftime, the score is 31-3. And then they said, the other team got to take theirs off, but we're not going to use that. I mean, that team, they outplayed us. They were more physical than we were. But, obviously, you like to be in the booth. That's what we practice, right? And to be able to get the adjustments. But at the end of the day, that game's gone. That team's 5-0 or 6-0 in conference. And we still have everything in front of us. We need a little help, but we need to take care of business this week. And hopefully we're at home. It's a work.
Good luck, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.
Thank you.
Sure, thank you. All right, next we go over to Mississippi Valley State and Coach Wade. Once again, if you do have questions, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach Wade, Mississippi Valley State. Good morning, Coach.
Hey, good morning.
Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. If you could start us out with an opening statement, recapping your team's outing versus Prairie View A&M.
Yes, sir. Man, we're coming off another just tough loss. This game just came down to just missed opportunities. We dropped 2 touchdowns, missed 3 field goals, botched extra points. So, it was a good game throughout. We went in at the half, down 3-0, came out in the third quarter. We won that quarter 10-0, went into the fourth quarter 10-3. PV came out, scored 14 in the fourth quarter. We down 17-10 with about 2:47 left. Get in the huddle with the offense. I told them we're going down the score. We're going for 2. So we went down, we went for 2, converted it, got called back for holding. Then on the extra point, we got moved back, so we attempted the extra point. Had a mishandling of the snap with that, so we didn't get a chance to get a kick up. On the ensuing kickoff, we kicked onside kick, recovered it, got called for offside, and that was pretty much all she wrote. But really good game. Coach brought his kids in, man. They played extremely hard. Our kids played hard, and like I said, just came down to missed opportunities. We've turned our attention to Jackson State, who I think is the best team in the SWAC. We get the opportunity to go down to Jackson and mix it up with those guys. Looking forward to it.
Appreciate those open comments. First question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everyone in the Delta are well. Jackson State and playing this weekend. A lot of tradition, the Totten era, the Cooley era, your era, Coach Prime, and the list goes on. TC, talk a little bit about the historic value of this game and what it has meant to people in the Delta all the way down to the south part of the state, and what this game will do in your thoughts going in.
No, man, it's big. I mean, particularly for our people, don't know how they see it, but it's a big game. Every time we play Jackson State, the fans seem to get up for this game. I don't put any more to it than, any other opponent, but I mean, it's always huge bragging rights. We recruit some of the same players. We, 2 in-state schools in the state of Mississippi, and man, it's always big, when you play Jackson State. But for us, if I'm being honest, in this building, it's just the next opponent. And like I said, we're looking forward to going mixing it up with those guys.
Next question goes to Stephen Robinson.
Good morning, Coach Wade.
Stephen, my man, good morning.
All right. The 2-point attempt that you were successful on, but nevertheless it was called back and holding. Was that pre-planned, or was it something that you thought of right there at the moment? Let's go for 2, but kind of take me through your thought process going for 2, and also your take on the actual holding call.
Yeah, we practice those plays every week. So we have 5 to 7 2-point plays. We work those same plays every week. So when we were down 17-10, when I was in the huddle with the offense, I looked at those guys and I knew we would go down and score. So at that moment, I knew we would go for 2. So, like I said, play to win, so I'm pretty aggressive. I go forward more than anybody in the SWAC. So again, we knew we were going for 2. We had the right play called, and like I said, we executed the holding. I've looked at that play many times. It is what it is. Instead of focusing on the holding, I tell you what my message to the guys was: we missed a lot of other opportunities. We dropped 2 touchdowns. We missed 3 field goals. So we put ourselves in that position to put your faith in somebody else's hand, and that's a life lesson. If you do what you're supposed to do, handling your business the correct way, you kind of prevent yourself from being at the mercy of somebody else. And like I said, it was a good play call. The kids played hard. We executed the play. My job is to focus on coaching football, and I hope that they look at it and take heed to what's going on. And hopefully we get some of these calls soon, but again, we do not focus on that. We focus on our ability to do what we need to do, which is go out there. The game shouldn't have been close. The game should have never came down to a 2-point conversion. So the 2-point conversion doesn't mean a whole lot to me, if I'm being honest with you, Stephen. We missed a whole lot, left a lot of points out there.
Next question.
All right. Thank you, Coach, and wish you well this week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Next question goes to Doc Holliday.
Coach Wade, what's going on with you, sir?
Doc, how you doing, my man?
Man, I'm doing good. Tell me about the progression of your quarterback to Jerry Williams, and also we talked about Jackson Davis coming back and making a big impact on your offense. Tell me about those 2 right there.
Jerry Williams is at an extremely high level. He's been over 70% completion percentage the last 2 weeks. He's not doing anything to lose football games for us. He's, early in the year, a lot of turnovers, a lot of interceptions. That hadn't been the case the last 3-4 weeks. He's just playing at an extremely high level. And like I said, credit goes to the offensive coordinator, just cutting back on a lot. We were doing too much in the beginning, and we found out what Tajarian does well, and we focus on. He's doing a really good job. I'm proud of the kid, and I just hope that he continue to play at the rate that he's playing at, because he's putting up position to go out there and win football games. Jackson Davis, one of the top players in the SWAC. He's only played 6 games, and he's, I think, number 11 in the SWAC in receiving. He's just a big-time player. He go out there, obviously people see the catches and plays he make in the passing game, but truth be told, Jackson provides just as much impact in the run game. He don't mind putting his face in there, getting gritty, getting nasty. So 2 really good football players.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Last question goes to Perry Daniels.
Hey, Perry.
Let's talk about Nathan Rimberg, Coach. 7 receptions, 163 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Yeah, I want to talk about the one he dropped, the touchdown that he dropped, so he should have had 2 touchdowns. He should have had over 200 yards. A really good football player. But again, we focus on what we didn't do well. So again, Nate had a big game. We knew he would. He's an extremely dynamic playmaker, but Nate, have to understand that we got to take full advantage of all the opportunities that we get. We had a real heart-to-heart yesterday. The drop started that morning, just kind of not showing up with the right attitude, right mindset. I kind of allowed that drop to happen. And, we got on it, we addressed it. And like I said, he had a good game, but it could have been a bigger game if he did what he needs to do consistently. So we're going to continue to focus on what we're not doing well. We're going to keep doing those things. And we're extremely happy to have Nate. That kid is special. He's special. The only guy that can stop Nate Rimberg is Nate Rimberg. And I think he understands that and he's learning that. And hopefully he continue to learn some of the things that he's had to learn. I suspended Nate against Alabama State. He didn't travel with us. He's one of the best players in the conference. So again, that's a Nate problem that we're working on. The kid is getting better. He's getting better. We're addressing those things. And I think we're going to see another big game from Nate this upcoming week.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Yes, sir.
Ty, did you have a question? Ty Miller? Okay.
Yes, I did.
Okay. You can go ahead, sir.
Hey, Coach Wade, good morning. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Ty.
Coach, you had one of your best efforts against Jackson State in 2023. What will it take for your team to get over the hump this weekend in terms of pulling off what would be considered a huge upset?
But just a good week of preparation. And that starts today, just having the right mindset, right focus with our team introduction. Guys getting up in the morning at 5:30 a.m., going out there, flying around, executing at a high level. What's going to happen on Saturday is going to be a product of what we do on Monday through Friday. So just going in with the right mindset, just understanding that we're not going to put more on this game than we do any other game. It's just the next opponent. Just being locked in, being focused. Not turning the ball over is going to be key. If I can get in just general terms about what needs to happen, not turning the ball over, eliminating big plays, make those guys drive, stop the run, obviously, and being able to try run the ball a little bit is going to be key. And we got to win one-on-one matchups. They're going to bring some pressure. They're going to play man behind it. And we look forward to that opportunity, getting the opportunity to go some man-on-man. So we're looking forward to it. And if we can make plays, we're going to have an opportunity to go out there and do what we need to do to come out with the dub.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.
Sir, thank you.
Sir, thank you. All right, next we go over to Prairie View A&M and Coach McDowell. Once again, if you do have questions, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach McDowell with Prairie View A&M. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Coach, as always, appreciate you taking some time out of your schedule to join us. If you could start us out with an opening statement.
Yeah, went down to the SIP. Again, had a really tough game. Again, against a good football team. Going into the fourth quarter, again, it was going back and forth. Coach talked about again that they missed out on some opportunities, and we missed out on some opportunities as well. And basically two teams that fought to the end, and we came out on the winning side. Which again, no matter how, like I tell my guys, no matter how you get it, win is a win. And I'm so proud of them because again, they stayed the course. And as I told them, I said, we get the ball back. We got to go down and score, and they did just that. They pumping each other up on the sideline and giving the offense, some momentum to to move that ball, and that's what we did at the end of the day. We played together and scored when we needed to score. Time and and that's why we was able to come out with that victory. Again, we of course would not want to. Would we want that game to be that close? Absolutely not. No team wants to be that close. But again, it's about what team, comes at the end of the game. And show that they're capable of winning. And that's what we did. Like I said, we just kind of stayed together against a good football team. We came out victorious. Again, we left some things out there. Third quarter, they left some things out there as well. But again, we won it, and then we get ready for FAM, a good football team that's coming in here. We played them twice last year. We know what they're about. Again, now Prairie View, going out and playing, tough football and against a really good football team that, that'll hit you in many ways, offensively, defensively, special team wise. And, we got a challenge, and we're gonna have to match that talent, match that intensity that they're gonna bring, into our stadium. And I really hope that we can do that if we just go out and just continue to practice the way we've been practicing the last 2 weeks.
Appreciate those comments, Coach. First question goes to Perry Davis.
Good morning, Coach.
Morning, P. How you doing, my buddy?
Super fantastic. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Coach, I want to talk about McDowell, your running back. 21 attempts, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Talk about this game.
Yeah, it was good. It's good to see the running game get back on track. And again, we've been trying to get that going, with that O-line that we have. And again, young guys and a lot of inexperienced guys. But again, they came out second half, and we talked about it, in the locker room about going out and, sustaining drives and, doing what they're supposed to do assignment wise, and, getting the right blocks, not screwing up, kind of like we did the first half, and they said they was going to do it, and that's what we did. And Coach Whedon came out and put together a package, that featured him, quite a bit, and more importantly, O-line blocking, and McDowell doing what he needed to do to move the ball. Like I say, we got players, we got some studs, now we just figuring out how to insert them into position within the offense, and and let our playmakers make plays.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this week.
Thank you, sir.
Question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Hey, Jay, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm blessed. Talk a little bit about your defensive side of the ball, your linebackers, and also your secondary, and what it looks like going into FAMU coming in and just playing the type of ball you want.
Yeah, we're gonna have to again. We have to get better. Again, we're going into meetings today. And put up the film and let these guys see what they did wrong, and hopefully we can get that corrected throughout the week. And we don't have those same mistakes going up against a good football team that's coming in here to win a football game. If we can hold up, in that back end, and as well as the linebackers, which again, one of our better groups, units, we're going to be okay. But again, we're in position to make plays. But again, somehow, some way, we kind of shoot ourselves in the foot, even going down, even in that last drive. I mean, again, to get them into field goal range, or pass interference once again. When it was third and long, and then of course, getting a pass interference call, and they moved down, and score. So again, we got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot, in that secondary. Got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot offensively, because even offensively, Jay, we was in the red zone, and again, had Jayden hit Shamar, with a good throw, and we would have been in the end zone at that particular time, man. It wouldn't even matter, the score at that time, because again, he would have walked in. But again, we got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot, on all phases. And if we if we do that, we'll be a much better team, going forward. Again, a lot of things that we're still correcting, trying to correct and get better at, and definitely what better time to get it done now. It's a good football team that's coming in.
Thank you, Coach.
Next question goes to Doc Holliday.
Coach McDowell, how you doing today?
Look, Doc, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. The month of November has not been the most friendliest months for you. What are some things that you had told your team going into this month, especially with the win Valley at the beginning of this month. But what are some things that you told the team as far as trying to get through this month, come out with victories on the back end?
Stay the course, and then we talked about it all the time. We talked about it at the beginning of the year. We talked about it halfway through the year. I mean, again, just stay the course. You know, we know that we got a good football team. We know we got some good players on this team, and we just got to make sure that, you know, we're doing our job. You know, and again, that's been our Achilles heel. You know, guys out there trying to do their own thing and end up costing us, shooting ourselves in the foot with penalties. We're shooting ourselves in the foot when we have a nice screen run or pass caught downfield for a first down. Then we get a call, you know, by one of the wide receivers. Now we got to bring it back. Again, those things, if we can get corrected, you know, get corrected soon, and we're going to be okay. And again, these guys know what it's about. They've been in some tough situations throughout the year. They know how to win in tough situations, and now it's just about them going out, you know, staying the course, and again, hopefully not, you know, put ourselves in a situation like that where we have to make it a close game. You know, and again, that's about us making plays when we have to make those plays, and you know, and getting in position to score. You know, be it a field goal, or because we got one of the best field goals kickers in the country, in my opinion. You know, or over scoring. So you know, stop shooting ourselves in the foot. You know, stay the course. You know, love up on each other and support each other like we did that last quarter in Valley. You know, and good things are going to happen.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Thank God.
Last question goes to Melvin Bill.
Hey, good day, Coach. How are you?
How you doing?
Well, can you assess Florida A&M team from an offensive, defensive perspective, and now special teams? They're starting to score there.
Again, talent all around, offensively, defensively. They can run it, they can pass it. You know, Daniel's a good quarterback, man. Again, you don't want to get him back there and let him have time to sit and pick you apart. Very smart quarterback. And again, you know, and they can run the ball. They got backs that can run. They got a big O-line. You know, we're going to have to defensively, you know, do our job up front. Do our job in the middle of the field, do our job in the back ends, because we know we're going to get attacked back there as well. So again, you know, going into this week, you know, we know what they're going to do. We got to put a good game plan together to stop these guys on all phases, defensively, offensively. Again, we got to go out and do what we do best, and what we do best is put our playmakers in position to make plays. And if we do that, you know, and give Jaden Johnson, you know, throw the ball to read and react, we're going to be okay. But again, we know who they are. We know what they're about. You know, now it's about us getting into practice this week and learning what they're going to do best and try to stop these guys. You know, again, we do a lot of good things in the foot. We're a pretty darn good team to you know, for scoring and, you know, and stopping guys. But again, that's all comes down to us just doing the job first.
Thanks, Coach, and good luck this weekend.
Coaches, we appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.
Thank you, guys. Good luck, everybody.
Thank you. All right, next we go over to Southern University and Coach Graves. Once again, if you have any questions, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach Graves with Southern University. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Coach, as always, we appreciate you taking some time to join us. If you could please start us off with an opening statement.
Well, we had a second of 2 long road trips. Last week, we went up to Huntsville, Normal, Alabama, to take on Alabama A&M, and it was our first day game. That was our first one, and you know, it was a beautiful day. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful, and those guys came out. Alabama A&M, they came out like we knew they would. They came out inspired. It was senior day. They came out fired up, ready to go, and they jumped out on us 10-0. We had some opportunities early on. We missed a field goal, and we missed a few big plays for some touchdowns. And again, those guys played well, played really hard, and then we were able to get on track. And we wound up going in at halftime And the second half, we were able to really get going. Our freshman quarterback, Zay, said he knocked the rust off, and the offense made plays. We came up with some stops, and so it was we wound up winning the football game. Coleman did a good job with his guys. It was back and forth. It was a heavyweight fight in an atmosphere that was really good, and hats off to him. And I want to let him also know that we're continuing to lift up the young man who was injured in the Magic City Classic, that we continue to lift up his family and that program in prayer for a speedy and full recovery.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First,
good morning, Coach. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Yes, sir. Congratulations on the victory. Let's talk about the play. Your quarterback, Xavier T, said 24 for 37 for 294 yards and 3 touchdowns. Not only do I want to talk about his overall play, Coach, but if you could talk specifically about his poise on the game-winning drive. So both of those aspects.
Well, Zay is a really, really good competitor. He was a point guard in high school on state championship, dominant state championship basketball program. So, things are never too high or low for Zay. And he's even keeled. I mean, he's always been that way. And those guys really rally around his energy, because he has really, really good energy. And he like a few reads, missed a few throws, but all in all, he played a well of a ball game, and he did a tremendous job of commanding what we needed to do offensively. And we were fortunate to come out with the win.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Question goes to Keisha Kelly.
Hey, Coach. Good afternoon from ATL.
How you doing?
Congratulations on the win. I don't have to listen to the hometown people troll me about football this year. So I appreciate that. My question is, it was a slow first. Like you said, Alabama A&M jumped out in front, and it was 9-10 to halftime. My question is, what did you say to the team coming back after halftime to get them going? Because they got going after that. So what did you say? What was your speech to the players to get them going in that second half?
Well, I just told them what I always say. I told them that we have to execute, and we have to really lock in, and everybody has to be the best doing their job. I told them in the first quarter, they came out and they gave us their best shot. I said, hit us with their best shot in the first quarter. And I said, we were able to rally back and come back from that. I say, so now we can't look at the scoreboard. We got to go out and we got to win in every play. And if we win every play and everybody plays to their ability and do their best, then the score will take care of itself. And I told them we got 30 minutes to go out there and be our, and if we do that, then we'll win the ball game. And those guys, they understood that, and they went out and they took care of one another, looked out for one another, and we were fortunate to come out with the W.
All right. Well, congratulations, Coach. I'll see you at Bayou Classic.
All right. Thank you.
Next question goes to Jim Klein Peter.
Yeah, Coach, after the game, you seem like maybe not as happy about the defense. What did you see on film? I know that they had some moments where they were dominant, but then they let some plays get away from them. What did you see on film after watching?
Well, it was we played well enough to win, but we have to continue to get better. I think we had we played too slow defensively starting off for my liking. And everything was a step slow, and then I don't know what it was. And then the guys, they woke up and then they started playing at the pace that we're normally playing. But I think we have to make sure that we don't lose focus and allow things to happen that shouldn't happen. I mean, there times that we got a little lax with our tackling, and we got a little lax with our reads and our reaction, and that's something that we can have, to give up, even though it was a lot of quarterback scrambling, but they were also quarterback, and for the quarterback to rush for 100 yards and then them have 92 yards, 192 yards rushing. That's not who we are, and that's not what we want to be, and we have to go back and correct those things because, going down, you gotta be able to stop the run, and you can't let teams have 192 yards rushing. So we got to get dialed back in and make sure that we're being our best selves.
Thank you.
Next question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everybody are well. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Yes, sir. I'm good. You guys are 4-1 overall, and then also 2-1 at home, and Bethune comes in. Talk a little bit about what you see from Bethune and your Jags football team.
Coach Woodie has a good program that he's developing down there in Daytona, and I'm telling you, those guys have some talent. They got some speed, got some playmakers. At the quarterback, the wide receiver, kicking game, they get after it on defense. He's doing a really, really good job of getting those guys to play at a high level and take on the attitude of his personality, even though he's a quiet demeanor, but you can tell that he's a fiery competitive football coach, and those guys are playing that way. And it's gonna be imperative that we're locked in and focused. As I told him after the game on Saturday, we have accomplished nothing. It's nice to be 4-1 in first place, but that doesn't mean anything. Deal. So our focus is Bethune-Cookman. Nothing else matters. You hear me say it all the time. We live in the present. So we can't look down the road. We can't look behind us. Can't look before us. We got to be right here in the here and now. And we got to be ready to go because those guys come in fired up and ready to go, and they're looking to get a win. They had a great win last against Grambling and on their senior day, and guys are going to want that W, that taste of a win again. So we got to make sure we're ready to go to do what we need to do to come out victorious.
Thank you, Coach. Have a great week.
Thank you. You too.
Try to get two more quick questions in. First goes to Doc Holliday.
Grace, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm doing good. Tell us about that last touchdown to Dupree Fuller to put you ahead 25-20.
That was just a great call by our offensive coordinator, Coach Mark Frederick. He did a good job of engineering and offense on Saturday and in crucial situations. He knew, we weren't playing to just kick a field goal, run the time out the clock. We trying to go down the score. He saw what they were doing defensively, schematically, and he made the right call, and it was just a great throw and a great catch by Dupree Fuller. A one-handed deal. The defender had him by the arm on the side, and he did a great job of concentration and making the catch. And it's hats off to those guys. They showed a lot of poise and a lot of focus and concentration to make that happen.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you.
Last question goes to Mona Stapleton.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. I'm well. How are you?
Thank you for asking. Coach Graves, Tissette had an impressive performance, completing 24 of 37 passes for 294 yards and 3 touchdowns. Can you talk about his maturation over the season and how his growth has a balanced offense?
Well, again, Zay is nothing to Zay. He's never too high and too low. He's right there in the middle, and it's just a tribute to his growth and maturation as a young man. He does a great job of he wants to get better every day, and he prepares to get better, and it speaks to the talent that he has, and and it's not hard. It's not hard to play with a young man, to play with a guy as a player when you know that, hey, nothing is too high, too low for him, and he's better and he's gonna compete. Play in and play out, and to watch him take the reins and execute and move the offense the way that he did was great to see. And I mean, it's not surprising. We saw it in all last year when he was a true freshman. I mean, when he was running the show team, scout team, as we call it, as he ran that offense last year, his days out there. I mean, he was, and that was not just a 1 day thing. That was a number of days where he would just light it up, and then and when he had an opportunity to go in the spring and camp, and then early on in the year up until his injury, he's that type of football player, and so it's not surprising for us. We just want to continue to grow and trust what he sees and what he's doing, and he can only get better if he.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week.
Appreciate it. All right. Next, we go over to Texas Southern and Coach Dishman. Once again, if you do have any questions, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. Happy to be joined by Coach Dishman with Texas Southern. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing?
Great, Coach. Appreciate you. And thank you so much for taking some time to join us. Coach, if you could please start us out with an opening statement, recapping your team's most recent outing versus Florida A&M.
Well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate our soccer team for winning the SWAC regular season. First and foremost, that's big for us. The football game there at FAMU wasn't to our liking. Our guys came out slow the first half. And then the second half, they decided to pick it up and play football, play Texas Southern football. I was excited about the second half. The first half, we can't even write home about it. It's something that our guys came out slow. Me as a coach got to get them to come out a little bit faster. We have these T-shirts, start fast and finish strong. We finished strong, but we didn't start fast at all.
Thank you so much for the opening comments, Coach. First question goes to James Hill.
Coach, I hope you and everybody there are well. Talk a little bit about the saga continues. It's Alcorn State, that club from tape. And what do you think about your team going in?
Well, we have 3 games left, and we have to win all 3 of them. Everybody's chasing Southern. We hope that Southern can have some hiccups at the end of the last 3 or 4 games, and we have to win all 3 of our games to be in the hunt. So we're still in it, but we're not. But we have to win all 3 games. So we're going into try to win all 3 games. It's going to be going to Alcorn. We're going to be on a 7-8 hour bus ride to get there, and but it is what it is. So we get there and try to play football, and hope our guys understand that we had our destiny in our own hand, and now we screwed up. So now we have to wait on other people to lose. I want to beat this person, so we'll do this. And the main thing I told our guys was go out and win the last 3 games and see what happens.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
Next question goes to Doc Holliday. Can't hear you, Doc.
Oh, sorry about that. Coach Dishman, how you doing?
Doc, you?
You were 1 of 11 on third down, and also had 9 penalties in the game. What are some things you want to try to clean up before you go on to the next game against Alcorn?
Clean up that man 1 of 11 and having penalties. Good thing about math is it's always very true to you, and it doesn't lie to you. 2 + 2 is going to be 4, and there's a formula out there. I keep telling guys the formula. Have less penalties than your opponent, you should win the game. Have more turnovers than your opponent, you should win the game. Move the change, score in the red zone, and win the third down, you should win the game. So that's the formula out there, and that's part of the football formula. If you can win 3 of the 4, 3 of the 5, you got to win the football game. And the game we won, we had less penalties, and we won on third down. So we have to continue to try to get something on third down. Our offense have to move the ball. When it's 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, and 3rd and 5, we have to convert those. We have the talent back there to do it. We just have to get to doing it.
All right, appreciate you, Coach.
Currently taking questions for Coach Dishman. Any final questions? Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking again next week.
Thank you, guys. Have a great one.
All right, next we are going to go over to Jackson State and Coach T.C. Taylor. Once again, if you have questions, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach Taylor with Jackson State. Good morning, Coach.
How's everybody doing?
Doing great, Coach. Appreciate you. Coach, if you could start with an opening statement.
No problem. Great weekend this weekend. Homecoming, people in town, family, former teammates, former players. Had over 30,000 in the vet this past weekend. But our football team against a really good Pine Bluff team. You know, that quarterback they got is going to be a really good player. They got a great receiver over there. You know, Coach Hampton is doing a good, going in the right direction over there. Very pleased with our football team, though. I thought we played a complete game, you know, a complete game in all three phases, played solid football, was able to get a lead in the half. They came out and, you know, drove the ball down well on us early in the game, but we were able to get a lead in the half, you know, and came out in the second half and found a way to put them away. But a great football team, great win. So I'm very excited about it. I put that behind us to start getting ready for Mississippi Valley, Coach Wade this week.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everybody in Jackson are well. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you doing, James?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. This game coming up, the historical piece, Mississippi Valley, they come down from Highway 82. Your era, Coach Prime's era, Coach Cooley, the history of this rivalry. Talk a little bit about it and what this installment can do.
Anytime, you know, talk about Valley and Jackson State, I talk about when I played against them, you know, they're play hard. Some games this morning, and Coach Wade is doing a good job of getting these guys competing, you know, for 4 quarters of football, but history built up in both programs. He's talking about the Walter Paytons of the world, Robert Brazile, Willie Satellite Totten, Jerry Rice, some of the greatest to ever play HBCU football. So a lot of tradition. Then to be, you know, here again this weekend in the vet, I know it's going to be a great turnout. So I'm looking forward to a football game like this.
Thank you, sir.
You too. Thank you.
This question goes to Doc Holliday.
Coach Taylor, how you doing today?
What's up, Doc?
What's going on? First of all, congratulations on your contract extension.
Thank you.
To be with the school till 2020.
Thank
you. You dominated this game from start to finish. The only glaring issue that you had, I know I was upset about this, was the 8 penalties that you had.
Yes.
What was the thing that you try to cut down on the penalties and kind of get more of a offensive flow into the game?
Yeah, you know, we had a couple of linemen out there. You know, we always tell them to play hard, want to play with that edge, but you know, a couple guys were taking it too far, and I jumped on them. Guys are pretty good. Actually ended up punishing them pretty good today, but we got to try to find ways of not beating ourselves as a football team, and it starts with penalties as well as turnovers, things like that. But anytime you get around that 7 or 8 yard, 7 or 8 penalty type of football game, I'm not pleased at all about it. My team knows it. You know, we watched all those penalties today as a team in our team meeting, and that's something to continue to, you know, work on and get better at as a football team.
My second question is, I know.
Okay,
go. Yeah, go ahead. My bad.
No problem. Next question goes on a statement.
Coach TC, how you doing?
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. Coach, like you said, you guys were clicking on all cylinders: offense, defense, special teams. Today that you guys ranked 20th in the coaches poll. What is it like in that locker room, and how are you keeping your athletes locked in for these next couple of games And are you planning on fine tuning and using some of that depth in this next game versus Valley?
You know, we really don't look at the rankings and stuff. We just, take care of the opponent. We take it one quarter at a time, basically 1 week at a time. Talking about Valley, this is not a team we're going to take. We take no opponent light. We come out and we're going to play our brand of football, and play our style offensively, defensively, special teams. It's our job to go out there, and beat each opponent that's on our schedule, and that's what we're going to do as a football team. But not resting any guys, if that's the question you're asking. We're going to go out here and play our brand of football, and that's just.
Next question.
Right. Good luck, Coach.
No problem.
Isha Kelly.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. It's hard for me to believe that you didn't punish somebody, but I believe you did. Going into this week, facing Mississippi Valley, are there any things that you have seen on film that concerned you about this Mississippi Valley team?
Yeah, I mean, this is, like I said earlier, it's a team that's going to play 4 quarters. They play hard, play with great effort. Prairie View to the end, looking at that football game, they were right there, they're looking for that first one of the season. So I know that, that anytime you come into the vet, teams are going to play us hard, going to play us hard and give us their best effort. They got a quarterback that runs the ball well, got a running back there that can carry the football. Defensively got some size on the D end, got a big defensive end over there. Some guys will have to account for and try to take away their best pieces.
All right. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Doc Holliday.
Coach, I had a question. Well, tomorrow is election day. What are you going to do as far as the team wise go to getting them to go out to vote?
Yeah, I lead my DFO, Kaija Trammell. She's putting together a way to try these guys out here to get them. Maybe somebody needs some assistance to get polls and vote, because voting matters. Stressing that to our team. So once she comes up with a plan, I'll let her execute that whole plan and we'll get it done.
All right, appreciate you, Coach.
No problem.
Kendrick Marshall.
Yeah, Coach. Right before home, in the news drop, you had signed a contract extension to remain for years to come. What does that mean for you, just based on your career as a coach and just you being an alum of the school?
It means a lot. I think you hit the nail on the head. The last part you said, being an alum, and I'm very AD Robinson, President Dr. Thompson, believing me in this just being my second year as head coach. It lets me know building and doing this thing the right way. I'm gonna continue to build it for the 2028. Our goal is these coaches will continue to coach at a high level and a lot of success down the road. But I'm very blessed to have.
If I could ask a quick, Coach, before you got job to be head coach at JSU, how did you prepare yourself to be in this position, to take over a program, to lead a team, and to do all the things you're doing right now?
Being around other great head coaches and just taking notes and visiting places and teams that was having success. I always get in the buildings at different places just to take a little bit here, a little bit there, and add to what I wanted to do once I had my opportunity as a head coach. But it's always watching the ones that were always successful for me.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you.
Final questions? Coach Taylor, as always, we appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, next up, I do believe that we have Coach Joseph with Grambling State on with us. Once again, if you do have questions, please feel free to utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach Joseph with Grambling State. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How you doing?
You're great, Coach. I appreciate you. Thank you for taking some time to join us. If you could if you could start us out with an opening statement, recapping your team's most recent outing versus Bethune-Cookman.
All right. I can't get my face on. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. We can hear your audio.
Okay. First of all, take our hat off to Bethune. They play with more fire than we play with. We have to take accountability from top to bottom, start with me, to my assistants, to the kids, about the mental part of the game. We got to get better at that. And but every game, like I said, every road game's a tough game when you take teams on the road. So we got to do better. We got to do better with that. But we got to we got to be better prepared mentally, and trust what we see out there, because right now, we're seeing a lot of ghosts, and that's not the right thing to see.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everybody at Grambling State are well. Next opportunity, Alabama State University stops by. What are your thoughts going into that game?
Well, they're a big physical football team. They like to run the ball at you. They're led by their O line and their D line, and they like to, they're physical. So we got our hands full. We got them coming. We got them coming in here, and we got to try to, get back up again. And try to see if we can put a better product on the field.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Perry Daniels.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Perry. How you doing?
I'm well, man. Are we feeling better than last week?
Absolutely. I'm a lot better. Like I said, I apologize last week. Just a lot of frustrations built up. Like my mom said, mom always said a lot of things has to go wrong before they go right. You got to understand what type of situation I walked into, and it'll take time to fix it. But I if you know me, I don't have a lot of patience, and I like things to stay, have a plan and have that plan go. I never have a plan B, so I got to stick with plan A. We got to keep chopping wood.
That's so good for me to hear, Coach. I'm glad for that. Let's talk about Alabama State coming into Eddie Robinson Stadium this coming Saturday. Your fraternity brother, who's the head coach of that team, mentioned the dynamics about coaching against you. Can you talk about that? Coaching against not only your fraternity brother, but two New Orleans kids that played prep ball in the city of New Orleans.
Yes, Eddie Robinson, he's a good friend of mine. Not only my friend, but he's been a friend. He went to our rival high school, Brother Martin High School. So we both from New Orleans, but we both played in the Catholic League. So I have a lot of respect for E-Rob. Just had a lot of respect for him growing up. For one of the guys that that led the charge with high school football. But he's always been a guy that's been a part of my life that I can call and get honest opinions from. And you tell me, he don't make you wrong about that. So just able to be able to coach up against him, it's an honor. And we frat brothers, we keep that fight till we die. But at the end of the day, he's a hell of a head coach. He has a great organization. He has a well-coached football team, and I'm proud of what he's doing right now.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Doc Holliday.
Good afternoon, Coach. How you doing today?
Doc, how you doing?
I'm doing good, in the third quarter, you were up 21-7, and then basically Bethune-Cookman came with the onslaught as far as the what was the thing that you saw from this game where you can kind of go into practice and taking it to the next game against
the coaches before the team, and we talked about putting them in good situations. And once we get them in a good situation, coach them to trust what they see. Not trying to outguess them, outthink themselves. Just trust what you see. I mean, if the back's away, this is what we want. If we get a twist, this is what we want. So we got to get them to trust what they see, and also trust what they've been coached to do. Because we tell them all the time, if you sit there and you look around and you say, hey, I'm confused on this, and we showed you this look in practice, you shouldn't be confused. Just trust what you see and trust your coaching. And we got to do a better job of that, for us with our players and get our players to do it. So, but Bethune played a hell of a game. They outscored us 17-7 in the third. They came out with more fire in the third quarter. And you take your hat off to him because Woody had them ready to play. And when I expressed that to my team, I said, hey, these guys gonna be ready to play. This is another SWAC road game, and SWAC is a hard place to go on the road and play because all these schools are really competitive. So when you get up 21-7, you got to try to put them away. If you don't put them away, they're gonna make that home run, and they did. And they they accomplished what they wanted, and now we're back where like I said, the same old book. We got to figure out stop reading the same old book and figure out how to figure it out.
And my next question is, how is Miles Crawley in his recovery?
Well, you know what? He was walking in the booth, yesterday, and we'll see how he's going today. He's back doing rehab. So hopefully soon that we get him back. We just Miles gotta tell me that he can protect himself when he's out there. And when he tells me that, then he's gonna be ready to go. But we're not gonna try to rush him back, though. We're not gonna try to rush him back. We're gonna try to make sure he comes back on his own terms. And if he says that he's healthy, he's ready to go in 2 weeks, then we'll go with him. If he says 3 weeks, then we'll go with him then. But right now, he's rehabbing right now, and hopefully we get him back soon.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Appreciate you.
Next question goes to Kendrick Marshall.
Yeah, Coach. The loss on Saturday effectively eliminated you, at least mathematically, from SWAC West considerations. You mentioned that you are going to explore a plan B in order to delve into getting the team back on track. What is their plan B, and how do you plan on playing out the season moving forward?
Okay, maybe I said it wrong. I said I don't have a plan B. I said,
Okay.
my plan is, to continue to build this program up. And like I said, you're going to have some struggles. Now we got to deal with the struggles because I think we do have a good plan. But now we just got to get everybody on the same page and pull on the same side of the rope with that plan. And if, in any athletics, anything in life, business, anything, if everybody's not pulling on the same side of the rope, you're going to have letdowns like this. And if you look around, the losses is a total of 14 points. It's always every loss has been under 4 points. So that was close in the SWAC. So we got to figure out how to win those games. But we're gonna continue to preach discipline around here. We're gonna continue to please preach execution and play for each other and see if that starts sinking in. And and just try to get